You were part of the greatest TV moment of all time. I think I watch it 3 times a week.
My Elisabeth Hasselbeck fight?
Absolutely.
So while in Australia, she does her one-woman show. Rosie O'Donnell was on the Ricky Lee, Tim and Joel podcast, and Joel brought up the May 23rd, 2007 episode of The View, where Rosie and Elisabeth Hasselbeck argued over the Iraq War.
I asked you if you believed what the Republican pundits were saying.
Did I say yes?
You said nothing, and that's cowardly.
I cannot believe that this woman, after all I did for her, because when I took that job, I made one commitment to myself that I was not going to be her enemy, that I was going to meet her as a person. And so she came to my house. She swam in my pool. She brought her little kid. I took her kid to Sesame Street Live. I took her to her first Broadway opening. Like, I bent over backwards for this woman. And here she was coming at me on national TV about whether or not I was patriotic.
Do you believe I think our troops are terrorists, Elizabeth?
I don't think that you...
No? Do you believe that, yes or no?
Excuse me. Let me speak.
You're going to double speak. It's just a yes or a no.
And then that when they had the split screen.
Did you know that was happening?
Of course not.
Elizabeth, I don't want... You know what? You really don't understand what I'm saying?
And, our producer is not on the fly kind of guy.
Right.
He wasn't like Mr. Let's go to a split screen. That was prepared.
Oh.
Yes. So the whole thing, I think, was a setup.
So, that was the headline that came out about this interview on Wednesday and Thursday. And so the show had never done a split screen before. And I worked in the control room for 4 years. So I was trying to think, would they be able to do a split screen on the fly like that with no preparation? Because normally, the director in the control room would rehearse that with the technical director and the camera operators that are in the studio. Just to frame up their shots, just in case. They already have a camera person that is doing a single of Elisabeth and a camera person that's doing a single of Rosie. So you could pull it off with the camera operators. You just say, okay, we're going to split screen now. So the camera operators would have to know, okay, we're no longer working with a frame that's this big on Rosie. We're now working with a frame with this. They have less room to go from side to side because they want to keep her in the frame. Now the technical director has to insert that graphic to have the split screen. Would they be able to do that with a rehearsal? I don't think so. I think if all of a sudden the director in the control room said, okay, go to a split screen, the TD would say, I'm not prepared for that. I don't have that ready. So, I do think that there was at least a discussion beforehand with the producer, the director, the camera operators, and the technical director about, okay, let's set up, the possibility of split screen. Let's have that ready if we want to go to it. So, I do think Rosie's right in that it was set up in that kind of regards and that they were prepared to maybe go to the split screen if things got heated.
The producer was a man on the #1 Women's Voices show, Bill Getty. He was not a great guy, if you ask me. He would give Elisabeth Hasselbeck the Republican talking points every day before the show started.
Right.
So all I had to do was read the Republican talking points to know exactly where she was going.
Then after that tidbit, Rosie wrapped the Elisabeth talk.
I wish her well.
So then Elisabeth took to her Instagram story yesterday, and she did 5 minutes of video on this. And I wanted to give you all the Rosie audio before we dive into this mess that is Elisabeth talking. So here we go.
Okay, I'm just coming on here with some truth.
I don't know if she intended this parallel, but she has the word facts written on the video, and that was an ironic callback.
When you say something like 650,000 Iraqis are dead, we invaded them. Let me finish.
You don't like
Who
the
were
facts?
the terrorists? I am all about facts. Number 1, you do not have to agree with someone to be friends with them, and you don't have to brainwash someone when they're your friend to think exactly like you think. Point in case, Whoopi Goldberg, we love each other. I just texted her last week and actually thanked her for being a friend who doesn't want me to think how she thinks. And I don't require her to think how I think. We actually can hold our opinion in one hand and hold the hand of each other with the other and still have relationship. Okay, this requires 2 sane people who have good hearts, who have different opinions, agreeing that we are God's people and we're just gonna love each other through our opinions and let them be different without punishing the other person. This is possible. It's not possible with someone like Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay, that means that Elisabeth has just said that Rosie is insane and doesn't have a good heart and is tried to brainwash Elisabeth into thinking exactly how she thinks. Okay?
Who, time and time again, wants to spread lies and hate.
What hate did Rosie spread there? And I don't even know what the possibility is that Elisabeth's saying that Rosie's lying about. The only possibility I can see is that, the fact that Rosie said that the producer would give Elisabeth the Republican talking points before each show. I mean, is that what you're saying Rosie's lying about?
Rosie, I've tried to call you. I've tried to reach out to you when you had your heart issue, when you were saying you were sad.
What does that have to do with anything? Rosie was just talking about the day of the split screen.
It is possible. And I'm so grateful for Whoopi Goldberg and Joy.
You're grateful for Joy?
Meredith, who was such a great example to me.
This is you in January attacking Joy on Fox News, right?
Listen, you and I know Joy. And I've actually known Carrie as long as I've known Joy. I'm friends with one and been colleagues with another. You can take the guess, your audience. But
there is a manipulation that I felt was very real with Rosie. And she can create whatever reality she wants. We all see it. We all know it.
Well, there's only one reality, and I'm failing to see how Rosie created the fake one, Elisabeth.
And honestly, I love you, Rosie. I think God has good plans for you. He sees you. He made you. And I really hope that you can be released from whatever this is that's causing you to cause such harm. And just be free. Just be free to be creative and loved and awesome, because that's who He made you to be.
Seriously, what is this woman going on about?
And my heart is like, just please stop. Like, we're all just trying our best.
Rosie talked about the argument that she had on air with you. Who's we? We're all trying our best? What?
Stop lying. Stop.
I guess Elisabeth is asking Rosie to stop talking about it. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I included the fact that Rosie didn't bring this up during the interview. Joe brought it up during the interview. It was a question asked during the interview. And yeah, the new comments that Rosie made weren't even about Elisabeth. They're about the split screen. So I don't get what Elisabeth's so upset about.
And even maybe if you don't stop, I still forgive you. And it can just be so much more free, Rosie, if you can just stop. Stop the madness, stop the lying, and just be free. So I just pray God's fire and glory around you so that you can just be protected from whatever is holding you back, in Jesus' name. And I pray that the lies that are held over you are released, and that you can feel freedom and joy, real joy, without feeling satisfaction from trying to lie about somebody and destroy their character. Because here's the deal, that's fruitless. You can't.
I don't even know. But yeah, that was the end of Elisabeth's third video on this.
The jobs we had at the table of the View were heavy loads to carry at times.
See if you can keep up with these numbers.
Every 15 minutes, 1 million people were watching everything you said, and 100% of the time, 50% of the people would think you were 100% wrong about what you said.
1 million people were watching every 15 minutes. So what happened after the first 15 minutes? Different million people were watching? Now, Rosie used a sports analogy.
It felt to me like I was on a basketball team of 5 women, and one of them kept tripping me on my way to the hoop.
Elisabeth is going to use a similar analogy?
We were a team of women debating issues, and it's supposed to be civil. So the example of tearing someone apart who had an opposing view, come on.
Is Elisabeth claiming that Rosie tore her apart because of her opposing view? Or is she saying that Rosie is claiming that Elisabeth tore her apart for having an opposing view? I don't know.
This is not how women should be. This is not what should be happening. We were taking on solidly divisive issues in a format that called for civil discourse most of the time, and it did get heated. But I will say, to tear each other up when we all were encountering that hard task before us is just sad.
I didn't hear Rosie tear you up, but also you in January, when you were on Fox News commenting on a View segment.
What Joy is up to is nothing more than selfish personal publicity gain right now. She wants to attach her name to Carrie Underwood's name so that she maintains relevance because they know the ship is sinking.
Yeah, it's sad that someone would tear another View host up, isn't it, Elisabeth?
And by the way, she is a woman who says she's for women and strong working women. That's a lie.
Okay, we're on to video number 5 of Elisabeth.
I am well over my Instagram minutes today, and that is terrible. And I can't believe I spent it on this. But it was something that I felt a conviction to speak truth over a lie in Jesus' name and ask for it to stop and be bold.
This is my favorite part.
I'm not going to respond to everything because I might not feel convicted to or have time to. I'm busy here making sourdough.
She's very busy making bread.
And writing little cute kids' books.
Oh, and there was some self-promo in there, wasn't there, Elisabeth, as you attach your name to Rosie's comments to get your name in the press. And yeah, she's so busy writing children's books. She wrote one book that was released in February 2021, and then it took her 4 years to release another one. These aren't novels, these are just picture books with some words in them. It took her 4 years to release another one. That was in March 2025. Maybe she's working on a third one, and we should expect that in 2029.
But I do think it's important, if you are being bullied, to tell someone you trust and speak the truth.
Yeah, so calling someone insane and saying they don't have a good heart and calling them a liar in the public sphere when you're not even specifying what they're lying about, yeah, that's not bullying at all, Elisabeth.
And know who your defender is, and that is our God, our King.
I actually had to consider, does she mean Trump?
Our mighty God, who stands before you, goes around you, hems you in, and absolutely is your defender. He is your shield and your strength and your song. So, we're all just human. I'd like to pretend this doesn't bother me, but it bothered me because it's wrong.
And that's your TED Talk with Elisabeth Hasselbeck. I'm so tired of doing these segments where I have to, make sense of nonsense, so try to contextualize this actual BS that people are spewing. I think I'm just going to go with what Kamala Harris finally said on her book tour, and I'm not going to bleep it.
Because there's so much about this moment that is trying to make people feel like they've lost their mind. When in fact, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah, let's not normalize Elisabeth playing the victim when she's really the real bully here.
Here's how it gets spun in the media. Rosie, big, fat, lesbian, loud Rosie, attacks innocent, pure Christian Elisabeth. And I'm not doing it.
Like being two-faced, her comments with Drew Behar.
There is a manipulation that I felt was very real.
People still want to interview Rosie. Like when the country of Ireland found out that she had moved there, all the TV shows clamored to get her on as a guest. And same goes for her current trip in Australia. And what are you busy with, Elisabeth?
I'm busy here making sourdough.
Right, that's all.